I am Shereem Herndon-Brown, founder and chief education officer of Strategic Admissions Advice, and welcome to College List Builder. What is College List Builder? College List Builder is a creation of mine where I use my 25 plus years in college counseling, college admissions, couple that with having visited over 500 schools in my life. Sheesh. And I build college lists for students. Why do I do that? I enjoy it. I like learning about students from their perspective and their parents' perspective, and then suggesting schools for them to consider, then hopefully they'll ultimately apply to. So today we're going to talk about schools in Metro Boston. You've heard about Harvard, you've heard about MIT. I want to introduce you to other schools. Emerson's a great school. There are a million great schools, not a million. There are a lot of great schools in Metro Boston. Bitterly cold up there. But I want to introduce you to schools that, again, you need to know about if you're considering selective college admissions, or you just want to know more about schools in Boston, particularly schools like Northeastern. So today we're going to do Tufts, Northeastern, Boston University, and Boston College. I'm going to show you what you should be looking for as you research schools and what we present to you when we give you a College List Builder report. That College List Builder report is me giving you 20 plus schools to consider. And I want you to look at their academics. I want you to look at their activities, their acceptance rates, and their admissions requirements. Very, very important. So let's start with BC. BC, very, very selective. 17% admit rate, not cheap. 9,400 students there. In Chestnut Hill, gorgeous. I mean, we're talking about a well-manicured campus, Jesuit school in Chestnut Hill. It is absolutely gorgeous. Students admitted, obviously you can see the gender balance that they have. They admit 28% of their students early decision, or 28% of the applicant pool admitted there, and then 15 regular decision. They're looking for very high standardized testing. Okay, they do not offer GPA information. If you go on their website, they may give it to you, but within this software, they do not. And then they also give you what is very important about their admissions requirements, admissions considerations. They also show you their graduation and retention rates and the cost of financial aid. All this is included, much of this is included, I should say, when we give you the College List Builder report. I also want to show you the programs that they offer. All right, so here's all the different majors that they offer in different disciplines that I think need to be investigated for students to then learn Islamic studies, philosophy, psychology, 2 bachelor's degrees, applied psych, general psych. These are very important as students are researching schools. Similarly, you want to look at the FIS guide, right? You want to make sure that you can read what an expert has said about them and what are their strongest programs: management, nursing, international studies, film studies, and then their overlap schools. BU, which we're going to look at in a second, and Cornell and Georgetown and UPenn and Notre Dame, Jesuit school, like I mentioned earlier. Georgetown and Notre Dame fit that bill. Villanova would fall in there as well. So again, very, very excellent school. If you want to, actually, let's look, they even have their essays in here. So every school has their academics, their activities, their admissions requirements, as well as their the acceptance rates. Woo! They make you choose one of the following prompts for their essay. Again, great. Looks very, very, thought-provoking, I will say. I'm not going to read all of them, but I want to make sure that you know what's required of students when they apply to BC. Now, if I go to BU, I could have just clicked it from the crossover, but I didn't. All right, also, most selective, 14% admit rate. Right in the heart of Boston, walking distance to Fenway Park. 25% of their of students who apply early decision are admitted. 13 regular decision is very popular. The gender balance, as I mentioned, they do provide GPA, so this is what they're looking for: standardized testing. Whether these schools are still requiring standardized testing or not, depending on how they came out of the pandemic, I need you to be submitting standardized testing or taking standardized tests and expecting to submit it. Again, my personal opinion, my professional opinion, I should say, because I believe schools are coming back with standardized testing, those that are very selective. Many state colleges have already done it, so on and so forth. Call me or fight me if you don't believe me. You can check out what their admissions requirements are, what they consider very, very important. Graduation rates, financial aid, BU is an excellent, excellent school. And again, this program is really cool because I could get information about, I could watch a tour of BC from a student's perspective. So again, although you don't get this software with College List Builder report, you do get it if we have a strategy session, and then you can do your own research on academics, activities, admissions requirements, and acceptance rates. So BU, very, very cool school based on being in Boston, having strong academic profile. Admissions requirements are not easy. Tufts, very similar to my alma mater, Wesleyan University, a liberal arts school, but more with a professional theme. Oh, I didn't show you the common data sets. I'll show you for Tufts, and then you can look at it for BU and BC on your own. I'll explain exactly what a common data set is. It's an undergraduate-focused research university, again, right outside of Boston in Medford, Massachusetts. Again, always important to look from a strategic standpoint, the gender balance, obviously the admission rate. They did not publish their early decision rate, which is interesting. Recommendations are required. What's very important, the essay. They're saying that the application essay is critical. They character, person, and class rank. Interesting. Extracurricular activities. Very cool. Religious affiliation is not considered. Cost, all right. How much of their students are on financial aid. They give you access to their financial aid website, which I always find is helpful when you want to see how are they going about supporting students from a financial aid standpoint. So the common data set, which I did not show you for BU or BC, is a collection of data that each school is required to publish that then they show you everything about enrollment, how many students take what majors, how their admissions numbers are. Again, a wealth of information, how many times they have students they have, full-time versus commuter. So again, common data set is a deep dive that, yes, oftentimes I take to help build college lists. It takes me 3 days. I promise you, if you purchase College List Builder, I will get you this college list that I built for you, customized for you, your kid, in 72 hours. I do that because I do a deep dive into what the parents are talking about, what the students are talking about, and then I combine the two and give you a list of 20 schools. So Tufts is one of my favorites outside of Boston. I know great people graduated from there. Undergraduate funding allocations, how much money that they allocate towards financial aid. Let's talk about Northeastern, will be the last school that we talk about today. Northeastern University is well known for their co-op program, increasingly selective, 7% admit rate. Wow. Again, right in the heart of the city, they have a co-op program, which means that you get credit for working. So oftentimes it's a 5-year program in which you do classes for a set amount of time, you work in Boston primarily for a certain amount of time, and that still gives credit towards your degree. So they want to give you practical living advice or practical experience in the work world to really go towards your degree. All right. 33% of their students are admitted that apply early decision are admitted. Good to know. And 6%. Wow, I didn't know it was that low. They did not give GPA information, but they do give standardized testing information. One of my best friends' son is there now. Remember, because of most students don't graduate in 4 years because of the co-op program, but they do graduate within 6 years, and then you have the retention rate. So again, financial aid information, a lot of need is met. Whew, this is good stuff. I'm going to dig into this later. The academic profile, what are the majors that are offered in different disciplines? I always like to start with academics, then go to activities, then admissions requirements, and then acceptance rates. And then, of course, the FIS guide. Again, this is where I can really learn more about schools, or you can, about certain schools and decide, is this a good fit? And the overlap schools, obviously, BC and BU get a lot of overlap applications because of the proximity, but because of its very metropolitan feel, think George Washington in DC, think NYU in New York. That is what Northeastern is all about. And yes, they too have a common data set that I think is worth looking at. So academics, activities, admissions requirements, acceptance rates. Think about those things when you're considering college, but you can also allow us to build your college list for you, because I want to hear from parents. I want to hear from students. I want to share with you what I know so you guys can make some informed decisions. College admissions is changing a lot of different ways, and I want to make sure that you are up to date with those things as you consider colleges. All right, Shereem Herndon-Brown, Strategic Admissions Advice, collegelistbuilder.com. Let's connect. Allow me to help you. And please, thank you. Subscribe, share this with someone that's going through the college process. Let them know that someone's out there really profiling colleges that wants to help them in whatever way I can. All right? Thank you so much. Look forward to connecting.